Welcome back. This is Div2 Finals here on Critscast. My name is Jake. Tonight with me is Gamma on the co-caster seat as we are getting ready to watch a game between Ugandan Pizza Police, also known as UPP, versus Veni Vidi and Vici. Let's see if they live up to their name. Ladies and gentlemen, this game is about to start shortly.
Looks like they've baited us. Who would have thought?
This is usually the custom here. 10 seconds is the timer from Wiethoofd has been told. The announcer is already ready to go as well as we're getting into this game. A red side of the game here being, remind me, Redwood, the master himself, the leader. On the other side is Arcades here on the medic class. Let's see the demo rollout.
Yeah, it looks like June's actually going to be a little bit slow to mid here, kind of a bit weak. It's going to be laying out that spam first of all as both teams look to get into position on that high ground. No aggressive bomb coming out from Lardux, just looking to get rid of the sentry gun from Redwood. As both teams just pressuring around each other at the moment.
Ooh, here, actually, Spy here. Dizzy goes on the back line, trying to take down FDH out of the game. He does it successfully. Now, June is in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have his medic around him. Arcades low on health as well. He needs to protect himself right now. Blur is moving out, but they're getting pushed out of this whole spot by Ugandan Pizza Police. Gunard is doing a lot of work, but Dizzy is there and takes down Seb. That's the first med kill of the game, and Arcades pays 100%.
Arcades is 100%, but he's running away from Cocoa Bear. He's just trying to gun him down. I can't believe they got out of the position they're in that elbow area. They just managed to walk out for free. And while they were just spamming them, boom, in comes Dizzy, the Merc for today, getting Seb. Arcade is so low at the moment though, going down to 18 HP, holds the Uber. Man, that guy is balls. And it looks like they're going to solidify their hold here on this second point. But they're going to want to make use of this Uber advantage soon, you would think.
Yeah, they have a lot of time before Seb actually hits 100, then they decide to move in. Now, using Uber Charge straight out of the gate, June jumping in with that charge. Scout is now being full of Mars, is doing a lot of work there. Picks up 2 kills here. He's trying to protect the medic from the soldier. He gets a triple. Nicely done by the Scout, and they do manage to solidify their hold onto this middle point. Arcades is still alive, and Seb going down just now to Dizzy yet again. It's definitely not gonna look too good for the Pizza Police.
You don't want to be your first 2 deaths in a grand final to be from a Spy. That, as a medic player myself, you know, that just fosters a lot of anger in a medic lane. Come on, guys, protect me. You can just hear Seb saying, because he got out of there very, very well. They hadn't lost all that many players, and then 1 or 2 just started dying, and then Seb himself dying gives Arcades a 60% Uber advantage here that he didn't think he would have.
Yeah, your Arcades nice and comfy right now, sitting in the lobby with the rest of the team. Also, team is nice and healthy. They're ready to push any given time now. They can even dry it if you want to, but they still have 10 seconds to go, and well, they're gonna just wait for a good opportunity to strike. It looks like they're moving into the river right now. Most of the red team is currently solidifying on that last point. They do pick up 3 kills there. Nicely done, slowing that push even more. And it seems Arcades decides to not push just yet, wait for the respawns, but he's gonna lose that nice and toasty Uber advantage from Seb. Seb is on 70% currently, but there is a drop right now. Arcades going down to Cocoa Bear, and he's showing what he can do with that flying, well, that bicycle knife as the medic goes down. Uber advantage is gone, team is gone. It seems that last point is safe now.
Cocoa Bear is a bit of a mercurial sort of player, but man, he's experienced as hell. There's no way he should have gotten away with that. He managed to, but the force?
No
he got the
way.
spawn camp on Arcades again?
He did. I was just watching that, and Cocoa Bear claims himself another kill of this game on the medic. Arcades not having a good time. They're losing the second point. It seems they're gonna have to lose middle as well, as Seb is currently just pushing in with his demo right now. Through the choke point, through the Z connector there. There's a mini sentry on the point, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem, as right now, Ugandan Pizza Police are in full charge mode.
Honestly, Seb didn't even need to use that Uber realistically. They're going to get this point for free anyway, so it's kind of irrelevant. But they definitely could have had full Uber at this point, I think. I think, you know, when you're walking out of last into that big door area, it is a bit scary, so it's nice to have that invulnerability in case there's a sniper around the corner. But, you know, this could have been 100% versus 50% rather than the other way around.
It's not gonna be too much of a difference. Actually, no difference at all. Arcades is doing a good job keeping up with the percentages. Seb's gonna have about 10% on him, but that's pretty much negligible right now. Jun is doing good work as well, keeping those enemies at bay with his stickies. He disconnected from the medic. Medic is up top on the balcony with the heavy weapons guy Blur, and they are just simply entrenching themselves. Uber's coming out early out of the gate. June has to get out of this situation. Uber's earlier. Arcades doesn't have his yet. He has to get out of this situation as well. Blur's gonna go down. Larnak's jumping on the medic, but he craters there. And it seems that, well, the Blues have been pushed back. They're gonna have the Uber charge ready to go now, Gamma.
Good old Roamer special coming out there from him. But my problem with that, I liked their defensive positioning, but they had no one with adequate heals really to be able to build properly, and because of that they were going to be at a massive disadvantage, what with Seb being able to heal people peeking through the choke point. It's a nice defensive position, but you lose your demo, your heavy stays a bit too long. They're lucky they have the Uber at least to prevent Pizza Police from just rolling this to last.
Pretty much so. Your FTH actually scoping into the lobby, lower lobby there actually. Trying to spot the medic. Arcades, he's losing that advantage fast. They need to do something with it if they want to push out of this, because Uber versus Uber, especially if the enemy team is pushing in, is going to be difficult. Coco Bear is already making his way past all the enemy defenses. Gambit is missing him by an inch. Seems that the Spy is able to get out. Arcades in a lot of trouble right now. He loses John. Now he's low on health. He needs to run away. He wants to save that Uber charge. What a ballsy play by the medic. He's still dodging and weaving. Finally, the Spy goes down, and medic survives by a sliver of health. Now the Ubers are coming from the red team. Arcades still milking his. He's gonna pump the last second to save Blur. Going on the point by points being capped. Arcades going on the point right now. Shade is almost done with the cap, but seems the blue team will be able to solidify themselves right now yet again with the help of Arcades. What a clutch play there.
Oh man, that was just 30 seconds of exactly how powerful a medic can be when he's allowed to get away with milking it so long. I thought they might have just messed it up. They allowed too many people onto the point, I thought, but they just managed to get in on the point in time. Arcades just reversing his backside right up onto the point. I wonder, do they know that the Spy is here? They're going to have to be very careful. It looks like they're not even going to consider pushing out. They're just going to crit build with Mars.
They have to really work on those Uber advantages here, because that point is halfway done and it really doesn't take much time to get it done as well. Seems that Ugandan Pizza Police have parked the bus right outside the spawn gates here for the blue side, and well, they're in a lot of trouble here at Triple V's. June is still nice and healthy. They've lost Lardox, but he's about to rejoin his friends as well. Katie's still 20% advantage. He'll be safe and sound in the next push, but they need to do something with it. They cannot just stay there for as long as they want, because they're losing time right now. Red was doing a sneaky play underneath right now. He may be spotted by the scout. He does. Marsh is now trying to work on his engineer. Red was keeping his wits about him, but they finally take down the scout. It seems that they are just taking people one by one there, but Coco Bear's gonna go down as well. No more spy play. Uber's coming out.
They've lost their Pyro really early here, and Pyro is so important, obviously, for holding on to this point. They've managed to gun down Sacrilege, though, so there's no Pyro for either team. Blur is super, super weak. He's going to need an arrow here. It's just Arcades and June holding the point, but June goes down. The Saw is coming out from Arcades with his engineer doing his best to hold on to the point, and they've done so. Seb, the only one living when everything seemed to go wrong for them.
It just doesn't look too good. They only have 3 players alive. They're going to lose their second point, probably middle as well, as Arcades with a not juicy Ubersaw off the demo man. He's going to be able to stay ahead of Seb right now. Ixo is currently in that cheeky spot for the soldier. Lardox is moving his way forward as well beneath the point, the middle point here. He hasn't been spotted yet. He's jumping for the medic. He's just surfing around looking for him. He's going to miss everything, and he's going to go down. Seb, however, makes a small misstep, falls down to the lower area. He's going to go back up, try to save this point from a certain failure here, and he might just do it with the team.
Dissy getting those 2 kills. There's no demo, no soldier. They're just going to walk through here. Potentially they can do this if they want. Mars is through there alright, but they're a bit scared about bringing Arcades in because the sniper of FTH is, of course, still alive. They're going to have to respect him a little bit. They use the Uber, though. They're using it onto Mars. He's going to chase through. He's going to want to try and force this medic here. He does do so, but this is going to be really, really difficult. A solo play coming in here from Swanee, trying to do what he can. In comes the soldier as well, making some space. Ixo goes down. Blur's going to go down to the Pyro. Is that a backburner he's using? I'm not even sure. I think it is. Sacrilege cleaning up those kills using the detonator and the backburner. Arcades crucially gets out.
Yeah, your Sacrilege actually likes those backburner plays. It's just such a dangerous weapon if you're not paying attention. Swanee here going quite aggressive, but the backup's happening right now. What is going on? Will he be able to cap this? This Dissy by himself. He might be able to finish this. Oh, he just missed it by a smidge here. A second point is currently in possession of the red team. Ugandan Pizza Police are in control of it right now. They're keeping up with the momentum with the Uber charges as well, but yet again, Veni Vidi Vici will have a response to anything that police will have for them right now. FDH is scoped in and looking into the river area as well, looking for a head to pop out, but I don't think that Veni Vidi Vici will be actually risking such a maneuver just yet. They just want to survive the storm for now and see what happens after.
I mean, the game plan, you'd have to think, for Veni Vidi Vici did not involve getting stuck on their last and second for so long. There's going to be a spy coming in, getting June immediately. That's a massive entry pick. They're going to use in on this Swanee coming in, trying to see what he can get. He doesn't really know what he's going to shoot. He's going to shoot the sentry. Sentry's going down. There's a scout on the point, or rather a heavy and a scout. They're going to try and Uber onto it using Gambit. They'll kill the heavy, but they've got horrible positioning. It doesn't really matter. It's only Shades alive, and Shades will get cleaned up with an entirely unnecessary headshot from Dissy.
The whole team live at Highlander is as rare as a full moon.
Ooh, the robot Jake.
The robot Jake is back. That's it in the chat.
I'll take over for him while he's gone. That's a nice meme. It looks like they're just going to try and pressure through with their sniper here through the choke point. There's a really passive positioning coming out here from Pizza Police, just playing around their sniper, but there are people hiding. Arcades goes down to Ixo and Sacrilege. They're cleaning up so many players. Shades coming in along with the Blackburner. So much damage from Sacrilege. It's only Skyfox and Dissy left alive. They have a 55%. It's going to be a 70% disadvantage realistically by the time people spawn. This is absolutely terrible for Veni Vidi Vici. They're going to come through here. There are spawns though, and it's just Swanee, so they're going to come back, wait, and see what they can get when they get their Uber charge. They have a full Uber advantage, so it doesn't really matter. Jake, are you back with us?
Yes, and I'm looking at what's happening, and it doesn't look too good for Veni Vidi Vici. They don't have the medic with the Uber charge yet. Seb is at full charge. They've only lost Coco, but they're getting ready to go popping immediately. They want to avoid this sticky trap. Chasing kills right now is Swanee, but he's missing a lot of shots here. June's gonna have to go on the point. Here's Gunnar, Dragon Slayer, 72! That Xbox Live Nick is not gonna save him this time. Blur is winning this one.
Just about. It's the same problem in a lot of these pushes, I feel like, for Pizza Police, is that they really, this sort of push in from River, it doesn't really work unless you get your people onto the point pretty much as soon as you possibly can. Arcades, does he know he's hitting a spy? He does now. FTH is watching the sightline, but these pushes from Pizza Police have the exact same issue every single time, and it's just that they're not getting people on the point quickly enough. Jake has crashed again, so I'm going to take over. Once more, there's a spy. Coca Bear looking to get a backstab onto Dissy. It's going to be a nice little exchange of swipes from each other. The full Uber charge now for Arcades. How does he want to use this? They're just taking a little bit easy, maybe looking to see whatever Sebo can see through his sights. He's not really seeing anything right now. June definitely wants to go. He's going to go. They're not used yet. And there's a pause.
Oh, what a good timing for that, then. While the pause is happening, I'm going to rejoin the situation, but UPP, on one hand, they're in control of the situation, but the last hold is really in the hands of Veni Vidi Vici. But the problem is, how long can you defend the last point for Gamma? That is the question for another time. We shall see as the game continues. Just doesn't look too good. They are lacking that aggression coming out of the second even point, getting to the middle. They only controlled middle once. They haven't even touched the second point of UPP here, and they are really struggling.
It just feels like when it comes onto this midpoint, they're not really getting enough with the Ubers, and when they do actually have when they do Uber in, they're not getting Seb, so Seb ends up having an advantage, and then they just push back in and wipe them. There's been a few situations, like one that you missed. They had Sacrilege and Ixo just hiding, and they just drop on Arcades, and he dies instantly. But it just seems so painful for them every time they push. It just seems like, they have to try so hard to get every kill. And the only way that they've really successfully pushed has been when Pizza Police have wiped themselves on their last.
Yeah, they have that defense on point for sure, but the problem is that they are lacking that aggression. They're lacking the kind of gall to push out without the Uber charge even. They always wait for Arcades to hit 100%, and they try to push. They sometimes even have that Uber advantage, but Sebastiani is not a bad medic by any stretch of the imagination. He knows how to use that Uber charge and save himself and just poach it for later use. And as a result, it's always like if the blue team here, if Veni Vidi Vici want to push out, they kind of go in, they look for the medic, but Seb is safe and sound, and he has the overcharge, and every single time as that has been happening, on UPP has been winning, but right now, Seb is only on 70%, Arcades has a 0, and they're currently capping the points. Seb might be able to push in this, but he's missing 3 players on his side.
Yeah, they just Ubered in, did Veni Vidi Vici with the Uber. They just kind of pushed out a few people on the flank in particular, but now, here it is again. Seb has the Uber, but they're already contesting this point. Once this sentry goes down, there's pretty much nothing else they can do with this, but Lorix gets the force on Seb. That's fantastic. They're only missing their flank now. Swanee tries to get forward, but gets juggled, can't do anything with it. That's the sort of thing they needed to do to bring an advantage back into their hands, but again, as you said, they haven't even touched the second point of Pizza Police yet.
Yeah, they've knocked on the middle point a couple of times right now, but it doesn't quite work out for them. But that Uber charge force was great coming out of Soldier, and now Arcades is a nice and comfortable 100% charge. They just need to save those teams. They've lost their sniper and the spy, so no pick classes available. Coming in is the Soldier Ixo, but he gets the force out. Now they need to use everything they've got to push out with this one. June is now faded with that Uber charge, going in forward, but there is FTH. Coco Bear's on the medic's back. He's missing the stab here. Almost dead is Arcades, but he grabs himself a health back, and seems that Uber charge has not been quite used as they wanted it to use here. VVV still stuck on their second point.
Throughout that whole thing, as soon as June walked through the choke point, Seb was already in his big door, like ready to go back to last if he needed to. The positioning was incredible for him, and he's only just linked up with people in the last 10 seconds. They have the overcharge now. It's just great survival instincts from Seb. He has so many players with him now. He's only really Ixo down, getting that force, as we mentioned, or rather getting those kills. But now they're just trying to edge this a bit. Sebo is looking at them, but he's on fire. The detonator, what a great weapon, man. Almost as good as the scorch shot.
It's being used quite well. I mean, Sacrilege is doing a good job with it, and well, it definitely pays off. Now Arcades still 100%, so is Sebastiani right now. Skyfox there with a nice sentry level 2 placement on the second one, delayed them just enough for the blue team to fall back and yet again entrench themselves. However, they lose Sebo there. FTH claims a head for himself. Now Blur goes into the secret right now. He's gonna try to utilize that secret spot to survive as long as he can for the inevitable push coming out of UPP, but they're currently just kind of biding their time. They're not in a rush, and neither should they really. They have that 100%. They don't really have to fight for it anyway, and they just want to look for that Arcades drop, or hopefully just a fort will be enough.
Yeah, they just lost Swanee actually about 20 seconds ago. They probably were looking to move in because Sebo was dead. I actually think that Veni Vidi Vici need to play around Sebo a bit more. Does he gets the headshot kill on FTH? That's outrageous stuff from him.
Gotta be careful of that sniper sideline there, especially on last Gully here. Coming in from the Riverside area is UPP, wearing matching hats of that hot dog. Definitely gonna help them staying hot in this game. John right now getting a little bit frisky, trying to force out Swanee there, but he's not gonna get him just yet. They're still waiting. There's still that kind of a stalemate you're so accustomed to. Seb is getting ready, and they're pushing in. UPP are going in, focusing on the center right now. Uber charge has been used. Point has been swarmed by the players. Arcady has gone down before, and that is all she wrote for the first point of this game. Finally, after 15 minutes of game time, first point of the game has been capped, and that's UPP in the lead.
And it's no less than they deserve. They've definitely been the better team thus far. But on that last push, they fixed all of the issues that I was talking about last time. They had their Pyro, their Heavy, and their Soldier all on the point instantly, as soon as they were Ubering through. Great stuff from them. Now we're on to a fresh mid-fight.
First one actually quite early there, spamming the enemies. June is also making his way, but a little bit slower. He's gonna take 2 there with the help of his Soldier. Nicely done there on the side. Sacrilege, FTH all going down, so that doesn't look very good for neither team really. Seb is all by his own. Well, he just been rejoined by Shades and the Choke, but both teams are losing players left and right. They've lost Arcades here on the side of VVV, and that is a big problem as Seb is still alive and he's still dishing out health. Blur is gonna go down to a nice pill from Swanee again. It seems that middle point yet again is in the hands of UPP as they're solidifying themselves on this middle point.
It took them a little while though. Arcades died relatively early in that exchange. I didn't see it exactly, but I think it was Zixu who killed him, and I think he came up top 10. I'm not entirely sure. But regardless, the end result is the same. Arcades is dead. but it took them so long to finish off the push. The force coming out onto Seb here, though, the spam from June coming from River, that should never happen.
Oh yeah, and you have to give credit to Mars, who's actually gone in and sacrificed himself to get that force even to happen in the beginning, but they do manage to complete this point. However, Arcades now has an advantage. It's all in the hands of the blue team on how they decide to do this. Sebo's taking down FTH, freeing up a lot of sidelines right now. Lardox is just kind of lurking in the riverside, finding Ixo, but both soldiers kind of come to a gentleman's agreement not to kill each other. Last point still being pestered by Coco Bear, where he's gonna get shotgunned down by Skyfox, and doing pretty well for themselves is Veni Vidi Vici, taking now another kill here onto Shades. They're popping kills left and right here on the side of blue, but they are still deciding to hang back, and now FTH is gonna abuse this and claim himself a kill.
They were not important kills. Coco Bear and Shades are not important. I don't know if it was Coco's intention to do so, but he got some cap time, so, you know, that's nice, and it prevents people from pushing out a little bit. Shades going down, it's a scout. You're not really going to be that interested in them. Lardox actually very close to going down to Redwood, having a little duel there, but Dissy gets caught. They're preparing to push. They've got their players down underneath the point now. Are Veni Vidi Vici ready for this?
Oh, they may not be, but Lardox comes in, takes down Ixo, almost taking down the heavy weapons guy as well, but it seems that Gunnard also going down. That's 3 down for the side of red. A very good situation for the Blues to push out on. They already claimed 4 kills. All they need to do is leave 1-2 people behind with that sentry gun. It's not going to be much of an issue defending last and push out right now. They need to do something if they want to at least stay in this game. After all, this is the UPP's pick. Uber's coming out of the blue side. They're losing their demo. However, June down for the count. Now the counter has been exchanged here from the Reds. Killing each other in the riverside. Mars is on the heavy weapons guy. Arcades needs to get out and needs to stay alive if he wants to stay in this. Losing 4 players there in that exchange, definitely not something that we're looking for.
I mean, they were taking a bit too long, first and foremost, but if you're taking that long, at the very least, get the Uber exchange out. But they lost too many players, and now there's people on the point. They're trying to kill them. There's just so many people everywhere. They've lost all positioning. The point is going to get spammed here, but Swanee dies. Seb dies as well. It's only Redwood left alive, really. What? I don't understand how they keep failing these pushes. I know that was a dry push, but man, everything was in their favor.
I don't quite think that's well, Uganda Pizza Police. I keep want to say unpopular because that's the same tag, UPP, but it's Ugandans that are kind of not doing anything wrong. They're doing everything right, in fact. It's just the Veni Vidi Vici are just very good at defending last, and that's kind of what saves them from losing even more points, but they need to get on the offensive. They need to step on the gas pedal and just go full throttle if they want to stay in this. Right now, Ubers are about equal. They're pushed out of their last point. They're currently on the second occupying it, but they're still waiting for those picks, and I think that time is going to come in crucial in the last 10 minutes of the game, Gamma.
Yeah, we're certainly coming into crunch time, as Alex Ferguson would say, squeaky bum time coming in here. But again, they just seem to have so many issues trying to crack these points. They've actually just lost all positioning here by being so passive. And you would think now, with this awful positioning disadvantage, Ixo's just going to come in and clean up with that spam out. Sebo's trying to get any peek he can, but he's going to have to back up here, you would think. And this is just a clean take without any Uber on Gully Wash second and Highlander.
Yeah, it's just been given out for free, like a little freebie at the mall. The Veni Vidi Vici are back to their old and reliable last control point hold with 100% ready to go in any given time, but that's just going to put a lot of sweat on Arcades' back since he has to stay alive for the entire time. He's being currently very well protected by the team, but it's just a matter of time before UPP decides to push. Coco Bear just bumping into the engineer, gonna get cleaned up, and so is Redwood. That's 2 down for the side of UPP. Now sneaking behind is the heavy and the soldier. Ixo is taking a lot of damage. They managed to take down Blur. Gamma's low on health, but he's gonna survive this by a skin of his teeth. He's so low, however, he needs that health.
Did you see what Gambit just did? He just blew the 4 stickies under Arcades' feet, and now he's forced in a terrible position, but they're losing everyone anyway. There's the ×2 on the point. The scout's gonna get cleaned up. Oh, there was just so many misplays in the last 10 seconds. I don't even know what to point out.
Now it's 8.5 minutes to go here, Gamma, and they cannot allow themselves to make any more mistakes than that. Huge jump by the soldier. They do take down Arcades with the help of Coco Bear. very well executed here coming out of Ugandan Pizza Police. They're really serving out those spies quite well. Cobra's gonna go down finally, but without their medic, it's gonna be difficult. Sebastiani, however, going down to Lardox, who's really annoyed by this whole situation, and he decides to take matters into his own hand. But yet again, Veni Vidi Vici are pushed all the way back, and right now UPP are pulling no stop. They have no medic, neither team does, and they just want to gain as much ground as it is possible.
Yeah, but they lost like 3 people for it. They just got respawns as well. But, oh, it's just crazy stuff right now. Ugandan Pizza Police at this point don't need to take any risks at all. Just 7 the hell out of this game. Lock it down. You got them on their last. It's quite clear that they don't know how to push out of it. Obviously, you could get rolled back to your last, but come on. Veni Vidi Vici haven't even seen your second point yet.
Yeah, it's untouched. Probably Cobweb is already building up in the corners of that second point, but they finally managed to get accustomed with the second of their own as they're pushing out into the choke point. They have a nice and comfy 40% advantage over Seb right now, and Veni Vidi Vici are getting ready to push this one, but yet again, they're very slow in this, and Cocobear is definitely not helping the cause. Lardox is going to find himself some trouble in the garage area. Big door, also known as. And still, UPP holding on the middle here, Gamma, just not really willing to let any inch of the ground go. Uber's coming out very early, however.
I'll get back to it in a second. What I just noticed about Cocobear, but they're trying to get through here. Mars is just chasing him. He's not even Ubered. They're just not even looking at him. He's just going to run them down. He gets cleaned up by Redwood. They're losing players, important players in June and Mars. They've got a few players in good positions though, but Arcades is so afraid. He doesn't even know if he wants to commit to this, but Cocobear's on his back again. He's trying to get in on him, trying to gun him down. He's going to clean him up. There's almost no one left alive for them, but they're still losing players themselves, Pizza Police. They're going to keep the 3rd point though. But
yeah,
in Cocobear's previous life, when he missed that stab on the 2nd point, he was disguised as a heavy and nobody blinked twice.
I mean, this is one of those disguises that you really don't pay too much attention to, you know. Why would a spy disguised as the slowest class in the game, yet he did it? The balls on this man are absolutely huge here. Shades is getting into a scuffle with Blur, but he survives this one. This is just swinging his knife open. Oh, he's gonna get spotted, however. Second point yet again getting claimed by UPP. It just doesn't look too good. They don't have the Uber charge here, Veni Vidi Vici. They will have a problem defending last as well, as Cocobear slowly moving his way towards the point, looking for an opening. Here, Dizzy actually just getting absolutely destroyed. Uber's coming out early, taking down 3. Arcades, Blur, Skyfox all going down. Getting on the point is Cocobear is gonna finish this one off with almost a full wipe. That's a second in the bag for Ugandan Pizza Police. I mean, their managers are probably happy right now.
Yep, that's definitely a textbook when you have full Uber advantage, just push from lobby sort of push. They kept everyone alive, killed Arcades almost straight away. No heals, just kill isolated players, take down the sentry, boom, cap the point. It's just very straightforward TF2 from them.
Yeah, this time around, June is a little bit faster than his counterpart, already sticking up at the banana area. Oh, it seems that the red team decides not to go in. There's too many damage stickies lying on the floor. Lardox claims there's a kill here. Red was also going down here. Oh, Cocobear's gonna get in the scuffle. A lot of kills going down the side of on Purple. Are we watching? Or UPP here, are we watching? Veni Vidi Vici actually getting themselves the first mid of this game. Seb is so low on health. He's looking to help that heavy, but he's still low. He's gonna grab himself a small health pack. He's struggling to survive right now. A lot of players are going down from the side red. He's losing players to heal and run away with, but here's Shades who's gonna save the situation. Now Mars is moving in forward on the side. I'm not sure if they actually seen him. They might not have. Going on to the medic is Mars is gonna get body blocked and cleaned off, but he gets the Uber charge out of Seb, and that's perfect situation out of this absolutely dismal one.
Seb went down to 3 HP at one point on that mid, but there just seemed to be a bit of a miscommunication. It seemed like Veni Vidi Vici wanted to go aggressive, but Arcades was going up his own elbow, and that was when, who was it? It was Ixa who pulled out the fast bomb, just landed right in his head and killed him instantly. You know, it just seems like a terrible miscommunication from him and his team. If he was with his team, perhaps they could have defended him.
For sure here, and yet again we see a UPP on the throttle. They're pushing on the second point already. There's Sebo there who claims himself a kill onto Swanee. That's a good opener. They have the Uber charge. That's a crit streak as well, as June will be very itchy to get this one done and dusted. I'm not sure if the red team actually expects this one to happen. FDH is very far forward. He's looking for the kill. Uber charge, crit streak goes. There's the sniper down, looking for the heavy. Heavy's low on health, running away. That the crits has not worked out as much as they wanted it to. Ixo actually getting blasted by Gambit there with a reflect. However, there's 4 players down for the side of red. They have the Ubercharge though. It's a perfect situation for VVV to actually get this one done and force. Lardox jumping from behind, but Chase protects the medic. They're still holding on to this, but finally VVV are capping this middle point. Blur's moving in forward, looking for the force. They do get it with the help of Lardox, but they have to run away for their lives if they want to survive this one.
I mean, that crits didn't get the medic, but it did end up seeing 5 players killed. So, you know, that's still good. They managed to get the force out of Seb now as well. They need to be very careful of FTH though here. Oh, he gets 2 kills from that position. Now in come around the corner comes June and Blur. They're angry. You've killed their teammates. They're going to push here from the low ground. You know what I think about that? They're going to get cleaned up.
Absolutely huge out of June, but now Sacrilege is kind of paying 1-for-1 with a medic kill of his own. And it looks very promising finally for VVV as they're running out of time right now. 2.5 minutes left on the clock, but they finally arrived at the second point of the red team. Here's the engineer and Mars on the point, just trying to get this one done by getting cleaned up by the soldier who Lardox is doing kind of work as well. He's going on the back line. Seb is surfing away from danger. Finally, the Lardox is getting cleaned up, and Seb will try to stop this one from getting capped. Gambit is all by himself on the point, but he's surviving for quite a while and finally getting blasted there by the medic himself. You know, if the team cannot do it, the medics usually have to get their hands quite dirty.
I like the fact that they're trying to brute force this because they've no other options really. But I just found it so funny, Seb just tootling upriver and then Lardox just kind of flies by him like, what? How are you? It was the weirdest sort of meeting of players I think I've seen in quite some time. And here comes Lardox again. They see him though. He's not going to get anything with that bum.
I mean, he does get FTA, which is
he
good
gets
enough.
2 kills. He finishes off Swanee as well.
Yeah, so it's not too half bad really for a roamer there. Ixo now is looking for Arcades. Arcades back to his Crit Streak shenanigans. Time is running out, and so is the hope of VVV to actually get this map done. However, this is UPP's pick, so that is kind of to be expected. A little bit of a rotation shenanigans going on. Seb is getting locked out. Uber's coming out. Great play by the Seb, noticing the sticky by just a corner of his eye here. Uber's coming out, chasing some kills. They do take down 3. June is down for the count as well. However, Arcades still alive. He will be able to pop at least 1 more crit streak before this game is over. But with only 1 minute left on the clock, I don't see that VVV will be able to cap even 1 honorary point on it here.
Nah, this one definitely seems done and dusted, but I just gotta admire Skyfox's dedication when they were trying to run through. Here come the laser memes! Swanee dies. You're not gonna get anything else though. The Redwood just running in his face, why not? Gets the 4k, not bad. In comes Ixo though. Oh, Arcades, that's a nice surf away. How did he live that second rocket? That's amazing. Good stuff.
24 HP. They're still looking for the medic kill. They need to pad out their stats. Gun Art is coming in close, quite hugging the corner now, moving back. They do take down the spy here, Dizzy. Sebo's quite aggressive but low on health. FDH even gets a share of that Uber charge himself. Ixo's low on health. Gonna get arrow blasted back by Gambit, who's now just keeping these players at bay in garage area, but 12 seconds to go, Gamma. This is pretty much done and dusted, and Gully Wash will go down in history for UPP as their first win of the finals of Div 2.
I mean, you would expect, of course, that the team who picked this map would want to win on it, and they did so, but you wouldn't expect in a grand final that they win just so decisively. Like, there was no hint, really, ever, of Veni Vidi Vici ever troubling their second point. There were 1 or 2 occasions where they probably could have, but they lost Arcades, they lost 4 or 5 players, or some sort of combination of the two. And when I reckon, if there was any way to check stats like that, TF2 need to get on that, but to check just how long that Veni Vidi Vici spent on their last point, I reckon it was more than 10 minutes, for sure. Probably. And that is not conducive to you winning games, lads.
Yeah, I mean, you speaking about numbers, I would take you're a pretty big number guy, so why don't we just take it to the logs, because the numbers really do tell the truth. And of course, first number that we have to look at is the kill number. Shay's the scout for the red team here. Ugandan Pizza Police is topping the charts with 32 kills of his own. Only 1 of them is on the medic, but 10 overall on the spy and sniper. So he's been kind of keeping those flanks in check and also kind of protecting the team from getting inevitably killed by those specialized classes here. 25 on to Blur, the second, Sebo on 24, and then FTH with 23. So overall, pretty high killing game. Surprised to see Veni Vidi Vici with a lot of blue players topping the charts really for the kill count. But kills don't really matter in a team about capping points, or in a team-based game about capping points. So it doesn't quite spell the truth here, you know. Even though they have overall few more kills than UPP, it just doesn't quite translate into a win since UPP won with 2 points.
I mean, the far more important stat, yeah, of course, they as a team got more kills overall, but the caps don't lie either. And red team got 16 caps, and the blue team of Veni Vidi Vici got 9. So, you know, that's just... It speaks for itself, really. You're not going to win a game if you can't translate, if you can't win a mid-fight, first and foremost, and if you can't win mid-point successfully. Like, they never really held on to mid-point for any length of time at all. And now as we move on to upward, you've got to be wondering what's going through their heads, having had such a disappointing offensive performance.
Yeah, and it's kind of like going back to the log period, you gotta look at deaths as well, and Seb is at the bottom of the list with only 7 kills to his name, or deaths to his name, whereas Arcades has died 13 times, so 6 times more than the counterpart from the red team, definitely kind of spelling out why they've been kind of reluctant to push out. And of course, that lack of aggression kind of played a big role in that game, especially because they were simply too afraid of pushing out of last, too afraid of pushing out of their second. They were always on the defense. And you know, with teams that always just focus only on defense, but never really on offense and only look for opportunities, is that if you hammer a nail long enough, it's eventually gonna go all the way in. And that was the nail to Veni Vidi Vici's coffin on Gully Wash. I really like that segue, by the way.
It was a decent attempt, I've got to give you that.
Yeah, there's just some credit.
And another small thing on the logs as well, but whenever you see your medic dying more than your engineer, that's bad in general. You don't want your medic dying more than your engineer. It just shows how well that Pizza Police focused him and just made it so difficult for them to use any advantage that they could have ever possibly had.
For sure, but now let's just forget about what happened on Gully Wash. Let's just reset, and this kind of what we need and what the teams need as we're moving into Peel Upward, the pick for Triple Vs. Very much a different map than Gully Wash. Gully Wash is a mirrored 5CP map. This one, though, is just a straight-up payload. There's only one objective that you need to focus down, and you need to push all the way through to the last pit where it gloriously explodes. So it's definitely going to help with their kind of lack of focus and the inability to really push in and take risks for Veni Vidi Vici. However, I don't think that UPP are going to just let this one go free of charge. Of course, they are the top seed in this game. They were the top seed overall for the season, and they've won against Triple V's prior in the season as well. So this is definitely going to be an upward battle.
Oh God, that pun. I had something kind of probably smart to say, and everything has just gone out of my head at that. I feel like I've lost IQ points.
Oh, come on, man. You gave credit to that nail coffin thing, and you're not giving credit to an upward pun?
I'll give you the credit for it. I'll give you the credit. So long as I get to segue into what I was going to say. I liked, you were completely right, I think, that this map definitely suits, a lot of the issues that Veni Vidi Vici had centered around their inability to use Ubercharge the way they wanted to. But in payload and in attack defense in general, you're only ever going to use it in 2 situations, really, which is perfectly fine for them. They're going to use it to take objectives, or they're going to use it to defend objectives, hopefully. So that's the sort of situation that'll suit them. But when you see just the cohesion in general, I think that Pizza Police have, they've been together for longer as well. You would have to give the advantage to them, you would think. But this hopefully should be closer.
Yeah, especially that this is the pick of VVV here. And the problem that Arcades really had was staying alive. And that was not really his fault there. It's more like that UPP has an amazing flank working in tandem. Every single time I saw Arcades die, it was just a joint effort of a lot of classes just jumping in on the medic at the same time. And that cohesion that you spoke of is definitely coming in very crucial in executing those jumps. Of course, you have players like Shades, you have Ixo jumping in at the same time, and then Coco Burst always kind of hanging about the combo as that extra 10th player for the red team is just that player is equipped to stab you in the back when you're not looking. And that's definitely what hurt Arcades the most. It's just he's prepared to maybe deal with a soldier, maybe even a random scout here and there. But when you're backing away from fight, just trying to save your life, and you back into a cold steel knife in your back, that's not something very pleasant, is it?
No, there is nothing that makes me cold and dark inside than nightmares of being dropped in a grand final. Like, and as you say, there's very little you can do in that sort of situation. When you're being focused in by 3 players already, like, come on, man, a 4th? Like, at that point, you just got to give them props for trying. And the unfortunate problem, I think, was they'd commit many players on him, but not enough of them would die. If all 4 of them die, then fair enough. That's 4 people to kill a medic. You'd expect to kill at least 4 people in an Uber charge anyway. But if only 2 of them die, it's a different story.
Yeah, you have a lot of problems on your hands, especially if you take down the medic, then the other classes that you've damaged are not going to have an easy time staying alive either. And that kind of works together and comes back into that cohesion that we are repeat now for the 3rd time. I mean, I'm going to use it the 4th time because that cohesion is shown by the team's kind of kits, as they're all wearing matching hats and glasses just to kind of commemorate. Of course, I'm talking about here Ugandan Pizza Police. They want to just feel as a part of one big team. And I'm a firm believer. Honestly, I was the one to suggest it for Team Poland, who has won the Nations Cup a couple of months back, that they've worn matching outfits for the finals and for the semifinals, and they've won both games, granting themselves a win. So maybe there is a pattern here. I'm not sure. Go Gamma here, or Go Gamma. So I'm not. Why am I adding the Go there? I'm just excited to start to get this gun going. But Gamma, here's the thing, right? The numbers don't lie. Every single time a team has been playing with matching kits, they've pretty much been winning, and so far UPP are 1 point ahead. It's going to be difficult for VVV to kind of do something about this.
I only have one problem with their use of hot dogs. Why aren't they called Ugandan hot dog police?
Because there's no Pizza Hut in the game yet.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Get on it. And anyone who can do modeling, Maya, anything like that, just get on it, guys. And while we're speaking of things that you guys can do in the chat, of course, it is the September that you can actually help us out, help the channel, help the casters, help Wiethoofd pay his bills and pizza tax, as we just need to get this one done. And we're waiting for the teams, but September is still available for a couple of more days, so you still have time to help us out, as we're getting ready for both teams to actually getting ready themselves. Both teams are fully loaded into the server. 18 players are sitting cozy and waiting for this game to start, and I'm not sure about you, Gamma, but neither can I.
I mean, this is always the most important part of any game, is the psychological damage you can inflict beforehand as you pound everyone before you leveling up your strangers. But come on, guys. Let us see some gameplay here,
Yeah. I mean, I think pregame is kind of like this part of getting into the zone. It's kind of like this boxer that is sitting inside of the locker room just kind of punching air, hyping himself up, and the music plays, or the wrestlers kind of playing their music and doing their routines. It's kind of that part of the game where people are getting ready, getting into the zone. Everyone has their different strategy on how to get it. Me personally, when I'm getting ready to play an official game, I kind of want to chill out, zone out. I'm not participating in the madness that's happening. I'm sitting in spawn. But about that later, because we haven't come here to talk about my life. We came here to spectate the amazing Div2 finals. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is a Ugandan Pizza Police versus Veni Vidi Vici Div2 finals, as we're going to be spectating here. Peel upward with Jake and Gamma on the throne as well with me. And let's just look at VVV's defense placement. I really doubt it's going to be much different from the bog standard one.
I'd imagine so, yeah. It's just always nice to see if people do different things every now and then. It's going to take a few seconds for them to really start to form up in formation. Skyfox using the Eureka effect so nobody has to kill themselves for his glorious, glorious machines. In general, I suppose when you start off looking at this, you want to see, okay, how exactly are Pizza Police going to approach this? Are they going to try and focus down the sniper first? Are they going... And actually, by looks of things, Sebo's taking quite an interesting position off here to the left. But that's always the question. Who are they going to focus down first? The gun, the medic, or the sniper? I think those are always the 3 most important things you need to look for.
Oh, Dragonstead is about to catch a bullet for his trouble in his teeth. Let's look at that. Sebo is scoped in, looking for a kill. FTH still in the back. He's looking for a kill onto the car, but he only tags Redwood there on there. is Lardak's gonna catch a random pill in his face for his trouble as well, jumping in, and with that demo charge coming in is a demo man. Sakhar's also gonna go down in that engagement. Seems that the first point is currently in control, but not for much longer. Skyfox losing his sentry gun. However, the medic is still alive. Arcades, he may be able to just use the supercharge to stop the aggression from coming, but I don't think that the blue team here, UPP, aren't gonna be coming in anytime soon. However, the time is running out for that sentry to be built up.
Oh no, they've lost June though, and just walking around the corner comes Ixo, and he does force Arcades. They're not really going to be able to do anything with this Uber now. That sentry should not have gone down. There's an engineer and a pyro around it, and actually they're just going to walk out of here. If Skyfox can live, it would be amazing. He's just going to jump forward. Here is Swanee to take him down. That's the most important thing. And they're going to get this first point clean as a whistle.
However, the Uber charge is currently in Arcades' position. Oh, Swanee catches some damage for his trouble. Low on health, he's going to wait for that arrow to come over. Jumping in is Ixo, but just as fast as he jumped in, he's jumping out of the situation, getting completely spammed out. A lot of trouble has Veni Vidi Vici holding this point. Sacrilege coming in with that back burner yet again. June is narrowly escaping this one. He's gonna use some of those heals from the medic. Sacrilege finally going down to June. June's quite aggressive. He's looking for those kills. He's getting another one there. This one was on the heavy weapons guy. However, Seb is running away with his life. He will be able to resupply. Jumping in is the soldier Ixo. He's jumping away yet again. Ubercharge is ready to go for Arcades, and they managed to somewhat settle themselves on that second point.
God, they were baiting FTH's sightline for so long, and he eventually got Blur for his troubles. This big soldier bomb coming in on the sentry, and he kills the NG, who picked it up with the Rescue Ranger. He didn't even really have to. And now there is nothing stopping Seb and Swanee just walking through here. There's not even a trap to stop them. They're just going to walk right through, take second again, clean as a whistle, no real troubles for them. They were slowed down by that attempt at a forward hold, but that's pretty much it. Sebo getting Ixo might just slow things down a little bit, but this is up being one-way traffic.
Yeah, it doesn't look too good. They're just giving the second point away pretty much for free, and the crucial mistake on the Skyfox part, just losing that sentry, was just kind of a detriment to that as well, and the testament, if you will, going back into the coffin jokes here. But both medics 100% charge on both sides. Blue team is currently getting ready to get this card pushed in. Lardak's jumping in quite aggressive from VVV to get it stopped. Here Swanee quite aggressive as well, creating some room for FDH, who just claimed Sebo. And that just couldn't look any better. Blur is gonna get stabbed here. 2 picks down for the side of VVV. They still have that Ubercharge ready to go. Early push, however, Swanee's gonna go down, but so is Skyfox. That sentry's unguarded right now, only level 2. FDH is on the try, tagging the demo man. Ubers is just open faded. Ow! And Arcades is gonna catch a bullet for his misplays. 3 players up for the side of red. June's in a lot of trouble as well. Exo is gonna just chase him away, but that's the third point. Done and dusted yet again. 3 minutes and 15 seconds. What an incredible time here for the Pizza Police.
June just got killed by Coco Bear. FTH claims another kill on Sebo. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong here. This is exactly how you do not want your game to go. Oh, in around the corner came Blur. He almost took down the medic, but FTH is ready and waiting for him. Skyfox going down as well. There won't be a sentry. Look at where Ixo is. This position is fantastic. It's going to spawn camp Arcades potentially. He knows there's a heal beam there.
Ooh, he's waiting for that opportunity. He's decided not to go yet. He's gonna go and jump in early. Oh, and he does go down, but not before taking down Arcades. That medic is down for the count yet again. Seb, however, is gonna get destroyed by June. There's only a couple of players left to stop this card. VC's going on the card, stopping in just in time from that heavy pushing in. And it seems that they finally managed to stabilize themselves, but that cost them a lot of trouble. Finally, this is going down to a couple of bodies from FTH. And now they want to reclaim the top spot using the famous Gravinator. Is Arcades going back into the Windows area. Redwoods is in there, claims June, looking for Arcades as well. Oh, it's so much trouble there in the terrorist town. And Coco Bear is barely missing the medic as well. How are they surviving this Gamma?
Vaccinator, man. Why? I don't know, it's just gonna work. It's kept him alive for now, but it certainly won't when Seb respawns, you would think. I don't know, like, oh, well, I do know, actually, Dizzy came in massively huge to keep their hopes alive. They were with 2 stabs and a gun down, but Arcades leading the charge into a Swanee. I don't know about that one. The level 3 sentry is going to keep them alive for now. Redwood just trying to spam it as much as he can, but it will go down here, you would think, with the focus fire. This looks pretty grim.
Grim indeed. Redwood's now currently on the card. Mr. Leader, low on health, finally gonna destroy that soldier who just jumped. Lardon's down for the count. They finally clean off this engineer. Card has rolled back a little bit. FDH jumping on the card right now. Now it's Shade. Now it's Seb almost by himself. He's just trying to send the scout. How is he still alive? How is he dodging and weaving this one? Gambit's on the card right now, pushing people away. Gonna go down. Now it's Blur, but he's gonna go down as well. A lot of people are dead. Card is moving in, but not fast enough. Marduk's now back in the action, going for this Demo Man. Gonna get cleaned up here by Gunnar Dragon Slayer, finishing off Arcades yet again. Card is so close, and it's gonna go pop anytime soon, and he does! 5 minutes, 42 seconds, Gamma. What an incredible time here for UPP.
Jesus, man, how are your lungs? That was fantastic. That was a really... It could have been a lot worse, to be honest. That could have been an awful lot worse for Veni Vidi Vici with the momentum that was going, but they managed to just cling out an extra minute, maybe a minute and a half, that they had pretty much no right to cling on to. I don't know how much the vaccinator really played into that, but just some great individual plays from their players, keeping their dreams and hopes alive. In general, though, this is looking very grim for them, you would have to say.
Yeah, and the VAC play, you know, while it sometimes works, you have to really spend a lot of time working in this environment on scrims and dedicating a lot of time to learning its intricacies. While it's a good weapon against bombing and simply trying, you know, getting picked off by a sniper or a scout or an odd spy shooting his ambassador, it doesn't quite work out when the whole team is pushing at the same time. And I think that Arcades kind of believed in this weapon a little bit too much, pushing in with the pyro, and both of them were dead as a result of that, leaving the team pretty much defenseless with that sentry gun going down pretty early as well. But now it's VVV, triple V's on the attack with UPP defending this one. That's a lot of abbreviations, but so I'm gonna let this one go and give it to you, Gamma. Talk me through this.
Again, you're going to look and see who can outsnipe who, because that's how this goes. June goes in for the bomb, doesn't get anything from it, except for a few bullets in the face. But some good heavy work there coming out from the side of Pizza Police, gunning down that first sack wave. It's always interesting to see if teams will commit that many players or not, and they did. All they really got for their troubles is getting the card up a little bit further.
They do take down FDH, so that's a good pickup. Allows the scout to push this card a little bit closer, getting a nice arrow from his medic. Arcades now moving out. They don't want to waste too much time. They cannot allow themselves to do so. Lardok's on the aggression right now. Gunnard is low in health. He's going to get gunned down by Mars. Or Shays actually here. Mars is now trying to chase out this pesky scout from his card. Going in a little bit too far behind. That sentry gun is still alive, however, and Arcades has retreated back to spawn. They lost a little bit too much there in an engagement, and right now June yet again kind of trying to trudge forward, trying to make his way. Lardok's jumping in but missing this jump, trying to make up for it, going for FD8, or he's gonna get shot down!
And they come with the Uber at the same time. The exchange is going to come out here. They've got the sentry at the very least, but nothing else really except for the exchange. Arcades is baiting his life away here. Going to get burned to hell. FDH getting the body shot on Blur, but Arcades does survive getting a sandwich, I think it was, there at the very last second. And they've really not got much except for the cart up another maybe 5 feet. This is definitely like pulling nails in comparison to the Pizza Police attack.
Doesn't look very good. They're losing time, precious time that they don't really have to begin with. Skyfox is jumping in to help out the situation. He's gonna run out of the situation. He's gonna get shot down by FDH just like that. The entire endeavor was for naught. FDH still on the prowl, still looking to click on those heads. Redwood has built up his level 3 yet again, and it seems that UPP are not willing to just move an inch from this first point. They don't really have to. Once the timer reaches a certain amount of time, there's not going to be much that VVV will be able to do, and they're currently stuck. They have the advantage. They've gotten a lot of kills there off the back of the spy. DC working on some amazing kills there. Seb's low on health, gets a nice sandwich from his heavy. He's being chased after, and finally going to go down to Mars, but this is going to cost them a lot of aggressive power here. Mars is just trying to shoot down Shades. Shades low on health, but they're dodging, and we've been finally, the scout goes down. Point has been capped here. 3 minutes and 9 seconds to go. It's still not impossible, Gamma, but he's very damn close to.
If Arcades had held on to the Uber there, that would have been perfect, but he did get forced by Coco Bear. Now, because of that, it's equal Ubers. They haven't really managed to get an opportunity to set anything up here. There's some good aggressive play coming in. And Dizzy just taking a little bit of a taking a little bit of the sting out of the defense by taking down Swanee and just locking them into this house area pretty much. And they've just gone straight back to third, it looks like. They want to get a strong third setup going. This is the only way, realistically, that Veni Vidi Vici have of keeping in this game. Rolling this the whole way.
Yeah, now the respawns have come in, Gamma. They are getting those players back on the field. Blur's having a little bit of trouble there. Exo actually gonna get gunned down by Arcadius himself, taking things in his own medical hands. Dragon Slayer's up top on the balcony area, so is Swanee below, just kind of locking this one down as much as they can. However, this random event with the help of Ixo kind of equaled the situation out here. In terms of Ubers, both medics very similar percentages, and I think it's just going to be Uber versus Uber, but only 2 minutes left on the clock, and the card is nowhere near where it should be. They do take down FTH, so it's opening up a lot of room for the blue team here actually to push here. VVV are struggling right now. They need to get that aggression going on if they want to do something about the Ubers coming out.
Yeah, no, they definitely need to do something about it, because here comes the exchange coming through. Are they really going to get enough out of this? They managed to get the sentry down due to the help of the spy, but they've still got a heavy, kind of weak 63 eats an arrow to try and get him back up to full health, but Arcades gets trapped in the door. He's just going to die anyway, and with him dies their hopes of this game. A minute 25 left. The cart is not far enough up the hill. This is not going to be Veni Vidi Vici's day on upward.
Oh, it's definitely not. Minute and 20 left on the clock. I don't think it's physically impossible right now, even if the red team just kind of let them push all the way through to actually be capped. So right now it's just a game for logs. June is going in forward with his help, with help of Lardox, actually doing a lot of damage there, taking down Slayer and Ixo with one pill. Going in, but they're losing a lot of players, only 4 up. With Arcady still alive, it's maybe gonna be useful, maybe it's gonna be helpful, maybe they'll be able to push this card just a little bit forward, just getting a few things. Blur's gonna just get absolutely decimated by the sniper. FTH in a lot of trouble, and an air shot, headshot there on the medic. FTH is just doing his best when he's free to do what he wants. I mean, that kind of goes for everybody, but he's doing exceptionally well now. Skyfox on the card, low on health. Gambit's trying to help him out to protect the sentry, but he's gonna get sniped again. FTH on the quadra right now, and Skyfox going down. Uber charges out. 25 seconds left on the clock. Gamma doesn't look good.
Doesn't look good. It looks like, I believe it's the first upward round. I think there's going to be a best of 3 by the looks of things in chat. Certainly what they believe. With 10 seconds left, this has been a very, very dominant game from Ugandan Pizza Police. There was a nice attempt coming at Veni Vidi Vici once they got first, where they just kind of rolled it forward to third, but that Uber exchange just did not get anything for them, and as a result they find themselves being with Coca Bear doing the crab taunt on the card.
Oof, this been kind of one-sided, really. That aggression coming out of UPP is just unmatched by VVV here. Just doesn't look very good. Gonna take a quick look at the logs. I mean, it's between rounds. I know, but you know, you gotta give credit where credit is due, and it's Shades doing so much damn work. 21 kills on his back. FTH carrying with 18, and then Dragon Slayer the heavy, stopping the charge. 3 of them all from the UPP team. It kind of shows that this time around, while points are important, kills are just as important, because when you're attacking, you want to get as many kills as possible. Of course, some of them were in that dead time at the end, but it doesn't diminish the fact that UPP are absolutely indestructible right now, and Triple V's need to do something, need to kind of reset themselves, think of a new strategy, think of something crazy and new if they want to stay in this, because they're right now hanging by a thread.
Shades had 4 dominations on Scout on payload. I don't think I need to say anything more than that. He's just been playing insane. He was fantastic on Gully Wash as well, getting, I think it was 8 more kills than anyone else. Like, he's just been finding he's been picking the appropriate fights, I think, is the number one thing. Like, that's the best way I can explain it. He won't take fights with people if he can't win them. And it sounds like such a simple thing, but as Scout, that is what Scout does. That is what Scout is best at. He's been making use of whatever heals he can get, taking whatever fights he can get, and just cleaning up the kills all over the place. On defense in particular, he was doing such a good job of just playing around the cart, playing around the combo, just doing his best to find any weak players and killing them. And it's so hard to deal with the Scout just doing the absolute basics as well as he has been doing them.
Yeah, we might be very much watching UPP advancing to the Div 1. I mean, they're looking so strong, it might actually put some Div 1 teams to shame. However, VVV are not out of it yet. They're still in this. They still can win if they try hard enough. But, you know, facing a Goliath of the size of UPP is just going to be very difficult as we're getting back into this game. UPP, Ugandan Pizza Police versus Triple V's, Veni Vidi Vici. You're watching here live on Critscast as we're getting ready for the second round in the set of Peel Upward. Currently, though, UPP are winning and they're just one map, one win away from claiming the victory.
Reminder, of course, that if Veni Vidi Vici do manage to pull out 2 more wins on Upward, we will be seeing the decider on Coal Plant. But what is far more interesting than that information is Sebo revealing that the delay between games was because they were trying to decide, Veni Vidi Vici, how to counter the coordinated hats.
Really? Is that real, or are you just pulling my leg?
That's genuinely real in the game chat.
Listen. There is valid data that people and teams with matching hats have a much higher win rate. It just shows that the team just simply likes each other enough. They just want to be playing together, and they want to stay together. And even one of them is an unusual. I'm not sure, is it because of the Great Depression or if it's a legit one. Doesn't matter. It's shiny, and that is all that I need for now. 5 seconds left on the clock till the gates are down, Gamma. And we're going to look at VVV take on UPP here on Upward. You're attacking first.
I want to see a much better suicide round coming out here from Veni Vidi Vici. First net isn't looking good already as Blur and Lardox just go down to no HP almost instantly. They're going to have to try and coordinate something here. They're getting the card up a little bit further before they start this. Here comes Lardox now in on the sentry, just trying to get FDH if he can. June comes in and yes, they do get the sniper. That's a good kill to get immediately. They do lose Blur and Dissy at the same time, but that's okay. They get the sniper. Hopefully they can get Sebo a bit more space.
I'm not sure if that's going to work out. Mars is just working on this card tirelessly, but he's getting spammed out. Kogover is already feeding information to the red team about the movements and positionings. Seems that Arcades is slowly moving his way out of the spawn, getting ready to get this one pushed. They pop very early, trying to save the team. Sacrilege doing a lot of work, just air blasting with a backburner. Lardo is coming in from behind, shooting the heavy weapons guy. That poor heavy has no idea what was coming for him. They do take down the heavy weapons guy. The sentry however is still alive, and that's more important right now. Uber has been exchanged. Only 3 players dead for the side of blue, 2 players dead for the side of red. Seems that we are back at the stalemate, but rotating is the blue team for the side of the rocks. Arcades catching a few random rockets under his feet, but he's fine for now, and they decide to just stay in this.
That was a much better attempt at a push there from them. They managed to get something a little bit better, but Arcades just strays in the sightline. FTH taking his head for his own, and now things are starting to go wrong. June getting picked up by FTH, as well as Blur getting picked up by Yixo, and now there are people just dying. Lardox just takes a little sky trip for himself before getting picked up by Redwood Sentry. I think maybe if they're going to play like this, they need to focus on actually killing the teleporter of Redwood. That would probably help their gameplay right now a little bit better.
Yeah, Mr. Green Lumber is definitely doing a lot of good work. They're keeping the sentry up. This he's now eyeing it up. He wants to take this one down. He's gonna stab it. Try to go for this. Engineer's in the sideline. He's gonna run away. However, it seems that the sentry has gone down. However, and Redwood has to build it up again. June is now using this opportunity to push him forward, but there is a conjurer coming out. Great plays by Swanee, taking down 2 with the help of Sacrilege. That's a 3 and 4 down for the count. Make it 5, ladies and gentlemen, as Arcades has barely anyone to heal, and Seb is at a full 100%, giving Redwood a lot of time to build this sentry back up to where it's supposed to be.
That was something I actually forgot to mention in the last game, as June gets picked up in midair by FTH. It's something I forgot to mention in the last game was I really liked how Ixo used the conjure during this downtime between Ubers. He'd just build up his conch, wait until they're both building up Ubers, and then he'd use that with Sacrilege and with his demo man to just walk forward and clean up some kills, and they managed to clean up some more in this downtime. Honestly, they really need to be better at staying alive in this situation. Like Arcadius is Uber now, but he has barely any teammates to use.
Doesn't look too promising here. Arcades now kind of stuck with his team on the back foot here. Going in on forward. They're wearing matching hats right now. Those are Gibbuses. It's kind of a cop-out. Ubers have been exchanged here by both teams, but much better coming out of the Reds yet again. Swanee leading the charge on this one, but he's out of ammo and out of bullets right now.
Oh,
they do lose 3.
Was godly. Got Sacrilege in midair. That was a really nice pipe from him. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No worries.
In the meantime, Arcades dropped 2 players in the middle of that Uber, and you just can't be doing that on offense.
Seems that that experience is really coming in crucial. The point is currently unguarded. Seems that the red team here, UPP, decided to let this one go and set up for the second defense with Redwood kind of being there as well, leading the charge. Sab is still alive, yeah, as well. Arcades trying to make up the difference in Ubers, but he loses Blur to a nice stab from Coco Bear. Finally, the points getting finalized and capped, and that will give them a little bit of a breathing room before they push it all the way through. FDH getting a nice headshot to Gambit. The Gambit survives, and that's all that counts. They're a little bit slow in the draw yet again. It's kind of repeating the situation from Gollywash Gamma. It's just they're a little slow. They're too slow for UPP to actually get a jump on them, surprise them in any way, and they allow Seb to just get this Uber out, survive, and maybe get another one in the meantime.
I have to say that was a fantastic sack that they got in to force Seb in the first place. And the fact that they managed to protect Arcades, who didn't even have Uber at that time, is a win for them. And, you know, they need little wins like that to translate into a big win. This is a bit of an aggressive hold. Look at the sentry at the end of the tunnel. I quite like it. But Arcades dies. He drops to FDH. He can't stand in that sight line, man. You've got to respect FDH, who's having a fantastic game today.
And those sidelines on upward are crucial and disgusting, someone would say. FDH still on the prowl. That's an 8th kill in his bag. Taking down the other sniper, looking for Gambit. Ooh, he does get him. FDH on a roll right now. 9 kills to his name in his current live. He's getting a little bit frisky even, looking for some more, getting aggressive positioning. Maybe able to get Blur, but I think he's going to get spammed out your Swan. He's actually trying to get June out of his position here on top of the cliff, losing time. Remember that 3 minutes and 50 points took VVV to actually get this one done. A lot of trouble is Arcades running away from trouble, but it just doesn't quite work out just yet. But they do manage to slow his Uber charge push. Sucklage, W plus M1 is not going to work against a Pyro Sun. But Seb, 100%, he's lacking a few players, but that sentry is built up, that's 100% in the bag. It's definitely going to help with that defense, and it doesn't seem that Triple Vs are eager to run forward anytime soon.
What Sacrilege, Jigsaw, and Shades did there with that conch play, it just made the game so messy, and it's all so good on defense, because that's exactly what you want. You don't want the offensive team to have time to build up an Uber and time to decide on strategies. You want them to have to think about things, like thinking about trying to face Sacrilege, who has an Uber charge in the back burner, and he's not afraid to use it. He gets a few kills with the help of Gunard on Heavy, but it's just really Blur stuck in this window. He's going to get spammed out and burned out. He's going to die in here. Arcades does survive with 95%. Again, he doesn't have anyone really to use on. He just really has June and his soldier just trying to come through. He's abandoned his Gibbous in favour of his Unusual. What a traitor.
I mean, whatever floats his boat right now, as Ubercharge has been forced out of Arcades. Low on health is that blue medic. They do manage to pick up Ixo there with a nice air shot from the sniper. Lardox, however, going down to Swanee. It seems that the second point will be forfeited by the red team as they decide to just put up a hold on to third. You know, that's just smart play. You know, letting point go is sometimes harder than actually defending and dying on it, but it is a smart play because it allows them to set up on the next point much better and have that Uber charge ready to go at any given time. Coco Bear, oh, declo just in the wrong moment. He's been spotted by the sniper, gonna get gunned down. Easy to pick up. However, Skyfox catching a bullet in his teeth from FDH, who is still on an absolute roll, and he's still proving to be a major thorn in the side of Triple V's.
Now, this is exactly where Veni Vidi Vici slowed down last time, but couldn't really manage to find the point. Like, there's no problem with pushing slowly if you can defend well, but now, you know, they need to actually push the 4 points in order to really have an opportunity here. How are they going to push this? FTH is down, that's nice, they don't have to deal with the sideline. Now, they're going to pick up Shades maybe, oh, he's so weak, manages to sneak away with the help of the Concher. They're going to kill Skyfox, and they're going to kill off the card as well, and you can't win this point without anyone pushing the card.
Weeks low on health, but he's done a lot of damage and a lot of work himself. Swanee gonna get picked up by Lardox. That's a good pickup. 100% on the side of blue. They're moving in forward. June is leading charge, but he catches a bullet himself. FDH still putting stops to those every single attack from VVV coming out. Just doesn't look very good. Ixo is still alive, and Blur as well, who is just enjoying himself a nice little afternoon sandwich. Jumping in is Ixo yet again here. He's gonna get gunned down. Lardox as well. Both soldiers are down for the count. Gambit trying to put a few bullets into the heavy, who's now running away. Pushing forward is the blue team, fully charged. Popping the Uber charge, however, nice milk coming out of the medic set. He's gonna have a much better exchange in this one. They do lose Gambit here, VVV. Shade's gonna pick up a kill on the side from Blur. and I think that's all she wrote. However, the car still moves a little bit forward. Swanee missing those pills on the medic. Doesn't look too good, but they're trudging forward. They're slowly moving forward, and that's all that counts.
I mean, they've managed to get... Oh, they didn't even get it up the bend. If they'd gotten it up the bend, I would have said that that was pretty much worth it. Arcades did get picked up near the very end of that, which is, of course, not worth it. But if they'd gotten the cart at the very least up the end of the bend, maybe they could have done something. But now, Redwood getting that sentry, it's level 2 already. They have a 40% advantage here as well. They have everyone in position, and it's just looking oh so slow as FTH gets another shot onto Gambit.
It's kind of like a race between a top-of-the-line Ferrari and a Volkswagen Beetle. It's just, both can get you to the way, but it just depends on the speed and power and excitement. And so far, UPP are that Ferrari I'm talking about, and VVV are more of that Beetle. You know, they're cute, they're nice, but you just can't match the Ferrari. Ferrari is still holding in strong. 6 minutes and 34 seconds to cap 2 points, and FTH still just claiming kills like there's no tomorrow. Finally gonna get gunned down by the spy here, Dissy, but it took a long time before that actually happened. Ixo and Lardox exchanging kills there. Finally, the card is slowly moving forward thanks to Skyfox, who's just kind of dedicated his own life with the scout as well, Mars, to get this one done. It seems yet again the red team has decided to leave the second point and simply entrench themselves onto last, and the time that they have is very admirable.
Yeah, Redwood, his sentry went down after he got sniped by Sebo, and ever since that happened, you know, without that sentry to really protect you, people just got picked off, and eventually they thought, you know what, let's just back off. They do have a full Uber disadvantage though, and holding this far forward with that Uber disadvantage is not good. The Uber's going to be used in here from Arcades really early. They're not really going to get anything immediately except for Swanee and Shades. They're going to try and have to clean up people behind them, but Blur gets gunned down by the enemy heavy, who's just managed to sneak him behind them. June, is he going to take that fight? He does, but are they going to get anything else? Their flank is just crumbling at the moment, but no, they're getting the kills just as they need them. They're going to need to try and kill Ixo here. The Redwood with the laser pistol trying to fire it across the map, but they're taking aggressive positions. They're going to be able to push this in now, you would think, but the scrappy defense will come in here now.
Doesn't look too good, but they're getting those kills. 3 up for the side of red. They're pushing the car with everything they've got in their engine, and they do push this down. The point has been capped. Last point in exceptional time. However, the overall timer up top says 10 minutes and 52 seconds. That's a lot of time when we speak about Team Fortress 2, one of the faster paced games out there. And I don't think that Ugandan Pizza Police are gonna put any brakes on, and they're just gonna, you know, hammer down the throttle and go in full speed, you know, still speaking on those Karm terms, by the way.
I mean, don't diss Herbie, man. Volkswagen Beetles are cool.
I know.
But it must be said, you know, one of the pitfalls, though, when you've defended so well, and it's 10:52 on the clock, and you're like, ah, come on, guys, we pushed in, what was it, like 5 something the last time? It'll be easy. And it just leads to that air of complacency, and that's the one thing you do not want to have on offense in this position. As you say, they need to go full down the throttle, play as if they're the ones setting the time. They need to play as fast as they possibly and safely can, and just get this one done, because if they do, they are Div 2 champions. Reminder of that, they won the first map of Gully Wash 2-0. They're 1-0 up here on a best of 3 upward. This is their final.
As the gates are almost down in 5 seconds time. UPP on the offensive this time around. They're all gathered up on the left side, getting ready to push this one out. Seb is safe and sound in spawn just yet. Nice kill onto Redwood. That's an opener. They're gonna slow down the card being pushed. Sacrilege going in with that back burner strat. He's gonna get found out by June very easy. Dragon Slayer now moving forward, gonna catch a lot of damage for trouble. Kokober on the sentry gun, finally gonna get destroyed, but not. Oh, I thought his sentry's gonna go down, but it's not. But the Uber has been used for the medic, and I don't think that's an ideal situation for Triple V's, as they just lost their advantage here.
I mean, this time, last game, they lost their Uber and their sentry. So, you know, they've got one thing going for them. They still have the sentry up. That Demo Knight play around the corner, though, I'd pop in the face of that, to be honest. It's quite scary. And it's something that you don't see very often. It's a very nice little play coming out here. As the Uber going to come in here from Seb and Swanee. They're just going to focus on the sentry if they can. Gambit doing his very best to keep them away from them. He's going to diffuse that aggression coming up the hill, and they should keep their medic alive.
Yeah, Uber early coming out of Seb just to make sure everybody's alive and healthy. They've only lost 2 in that engagement, but they do get the point, and that's all that matters now. Red team will have to save themselves on that second point. Sacrilege is gonna fall down to a pit. Huge blast back from Gambit there with the help of bullets of Blur. June on the aggression, so is Lardox trying to look for the medic. They do get him with a random pill. Flying sky high is the med, and so is Coco Bear, and just taking kills left and right is the red team. Arcades just popped his Ubercharge. 60 HP is not a healthy look on the medic, but he did use his Ubercharge, and they've just killed Seb. There's no harm, no foul in this situation, as well. There's a level 3 almost done by Skyfox as well, and it's looking quite promising on that second point defense. Not before, however, they lose Gambit and Blur. That's something they should have been really looking out for.
Yeah, at this point, June needs to be careful. He's a bit far forward for my liking here. You've lost your primary defenders in Blur and Gambit here. Just play with a little bit more self-preservation around the corners. Coco Bear decloaks again and gets June. That's what I'm talking about. You're too far forward with nobody supporting you. You need to be a little bit more careful on Demo Man, a class that can do so much damage, but just needs a little bit of help defensively from time to time.
8.5 minutes to go. The chat in the game just saying there's 10 minutes on the reservation. I'm not even sure that UPP will even extend this time. They are not worried too much about this. Lardo's just gonna get smashed in the face by Ixo, and moving in forward is the entire blue team right now. Pizza Police are looking so incredibly strong on here. Third point defense not even halfway done and halfway ready, but both medics have that Ubercharge ready to go at any given time. Seb is wide open right now. If there is a random player coming in the medic, it's an easy pickup, or at least a force, but they're afraid to even do that. And that Volkswagen is just not really working well. They're struggling so much. They just picked up Sacrilege, who's just kind of randomly like the goal, and the balls on the side of UPP just kind of show how one-sided this game is, Gamma.
I would like to remind you that it was approximately this time that it took for Veni Vidi Vici to cap 1 point. The Uber going to come out here early on Gambit. He gets the force off very, very nicely. Managed to mulch Swanee off the cliff, almost gets Seb as well. You've got to be careful with the Pyro class on this particular point on Upward. The cliffs of Upward are known.
Ooh, a nice stop there by Dision to FTH, opening on those flanks, but he's gonna go down as well. And the card is inevitably moving forward. 7.5 minutes left on the clock as the third is about to ping, which means a lot of time has to be used on last defense by the red team here. VVV are not looking too hot right now. They need some kind of a, I don't know, some kind of glimmer of hope here. Arcades just has to respawn as well, which gives Seb a very nice and comfortable advantage. There's a lot of red players up top, but there's only one med pack to kind of share between them, and they also need to escort the medic up top, and Seb is already there with his troops. Here, Gambit low on health, trying to defend and slow them down as much as he can, but he's gonna go down very easy. Blur is up top still, kind of hiding with that Tomislav. I'm not sure if they know about him just yet, but that arrow may just sold his spot. They may just come and follow him. Swanee's in there. Blur is doing so much damage, but Uber has been popped on the blue side just to secure this one. 4 players alive for the side of red.
Yeah, this is starting to look like all she wrote, to be honest. His positions being taken up from Pizza Police are so good, just keeping an eye on the left and right hand side of spawns. They have people watching everything. There's such a forward position from Swanee. It's so hard to deal with this. In comes the engineer. They're wiped essentially. Just Sebo and Arcades, and the taunts on the card as it goes in. Sebo gets the parting shot on FTH, but it doesn't matter. You're Div 2 champions for this season, Ugandan Pizza Police.
You know, they usually say in those old sayings, slow and steady wins the race, but this case is not a true testament to that old saying. You can throw it right out the window, just where hopes and dreams of Triple V's are to win this match. Congratulations to UPP for claiming their victory in Div 2. What a decisive game and a decisive season for them. And this match tonight has just been the cherry on top of the cake that they've been kind of making themselves the entire time.